How are we all doing? Welcome to the Let's Talk podcast. And in today's episode, we're going to be continuing our series on depression and continuing on from our last episode where we were talking about how we feel counselling has changed and impacted our lives and how our journey with depression so far also has. And I know in the last episode, we talked a lot about some of the lessons we felt we'd learned. But how do you feel those lessons are now impacting you? And how do you feel your life has changed from these lessons and from the journey you've been on so far?
Yeah, I think one thing that has definitely, changed a lot is like my sleep when I was going through, depression and counselling for years and years actually with depression, is that I literally didn't sleep at all. I'd be surviving on like 4 hours sleep every night because I just couldn't get to sleep. Overthinking, just lay there. Whereas now, God, I need nothing but my 8 hours a day.
Oh, you love your sleep now. Like, it's hard to wake you up sometimes, but so when you used to go to bed, and I know I think we discussed this in a previous episode. Like you say, lights go out, brain comes on, overthinking.
Yeah.
How does it feel now when you turn the lights off? Is it calm? Is it quiet? Peaceful?
It's just peace. I remember actually saying to you like after to be fair, sometimes during the counselling and then after the counselling, it's like, I think I mentioned to you how strange it is to actually lie there and not really have anything on my mind. Like, just lay there and just being like, it's quiet.
And then that must be weird though, because like you say, for 10 plus years, you got so used to obviously feeling a certain way. So when this change first started to happen, would you like you say, sort of just sort of like, why am I not thinking, or I should be thinking these things? It isn't right that I'm not.
Yeah, and that's the really ironic thing, that I was actually overthinking, not thinking.
I can't sleep because I'm overthinking my thinking.
No, literally, that's what happened for quite a while, because I was just so confused in a sense of like, why is it now? Literally, and I probably didn't sleep quite that well actually when this was happening, because I was so busy trying to figure out why. But now it is really nice just to be able to just lie there and just drift off without knowing that. Like, I used to be quite scared to go to sleep. It sounds daft, but I was like, it was quite like, I just didn't want to get in bed and just lay there. And I'm not one for them. Like, you can fall asleep with a TV on or anything like that. So I did just have to lay there to fall asleep, and I could be thinking there for like 3 or 4 hours, I think I go to sleep out of exhaustion back then. Whereas now, I can just go to sleep whenever I want and just calmly, not overthinking. And, going on to overthinking, that's a massive thing that's changed for me.
So is that something you feel is a lot, again, calmer within yourself? And do you feel a lot more in control of your thought processes now?
1,000,000%, yeah. Don't get me wrong, I still overthink sometimes. It'll probably, never go away in a sense, because I did it for so long. But even if it happens now, like after, maybe a minute or two, I'm like, I nip it in the bud straight away and be like, what are you doing?
Yeah, and I don't think it's about getting rid of it. I think it's a natural human thing to do, is overthink. Like, as much as you're in control, you're gonna have your worries, and you've got emotions. Of course, you're gonna think about things. But would you say now it's a healthy? If you overthink, it's a healthy overthink, or even if you feel like it's starting to maybe become negative, for yourself how to best approach it, like what the best things are to do to maybe calm that down and to stop it. Maybe reaching out to a loved one and speaking to them, and instead of just sitting with yourself and letting it spiral, okay, I know a very good way to approach this within myself.
Yeah, definitely. Like you say, as soon as I kind of know, it's quite sad to say, but I'm probably so used to spiraling, like negative thoughts, like literally every 5 minutes of my life, like for the last, like, when I was depressed in a sense, and now when I feel that's going to happen, I do know how to control that and to shut it down, really. And I can do that within myself. Obviously, on some occasions, I speak to yourself about it, but most of the time, I can just shut it down. What I feel like is a really, amazing thing for me to be able to do that.
I was going to say, because I imagine, was there a point before counselling and so on in your depression, like, could you not imagine life like this? Like, if someone had turned around to you and said, in 10 years, or in 5 years, 10 years, you won't do this anymore and you will be in control, do you feel like you could imagine that then?
No, not a chance. Like, I can't explain like the difference in who I am in a lot of ways from then to now. And if someone come up to me and said, you know, in 5 years you're going to be like this, I would have shown them where the door is.
Like,
you know,
you can't. Cause I know for myself, like you say, when going through mental health struggles and depression is. Well, I don't think it wants you to think like that, to think of life without it and how it can be resolved or how you can build yourself up to be better and stronger than it. But to, like you say now, to be able to sit here and listen and hear you constantly say, I'm in control of myself, and I imagine it feels the same way for you. It's just such a beautiful thing to hear, knowing, again, the journey you've been through, but also the strength you've shown to get here in yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Now, you know, I think it makes us appreciate it a lot more as well. And you know, we sometimes say, you know, like we're quite I don't know if it's glad that, you know, that we've been through depression, just from the kind of the outcome of what we're feeling right now, and you know, the people we are.
I feel very proud to say that and know that I've been through depression, and I feel very lucky, as you say, to be sat here, because I know to get to the other side of it, or to get to the side or in a position that I feel I am now within myself towards my depression, and I feel very, like you say, as I say, lucky to be here, and very lucky for the opportunities that allowed me to get here. But I believe, and well, I know this is one of the reasons we do this podcast and want to do this podcast, because we want to spread the message that you can get through mental health struggles. There's a world of help out there, and we're just two average people, but you know, we're not from money. We're not nothing. Everyone's special, but you know, we're not got any privileges that most don't or anything like that. It's, again, like you say, to spread that message that we all have our mental health struggles, but we can all get through it, and we can all get through it together. And would you say, to continue on to this episode, with how you feel your life is different now, is something I know we touched on in the last episode, that is, and I think is amazing to see with you, is how you now put yourself first and have learned that balance for yourself, and to learn to love yourself and respect yourself as well.
Yeah, like you just said, I think, you know, for me to be able to do that it's amazing to be able to, you know, amazing feeling for me, and to actually give myself some attention, in a sense, you know, like looking after myself, doing what's best for me, and, you know, and like I say, I think that's the important thing, is that I actually now think about myself and making sure that I'm okay, whereas before I never ever took that step back, in a sense, and be like, am I okay? Am I happy doing this? You know, what should I do, you know, to kind of help me and things like that. So to be able to do that now for me is like life changing, literally.
Well, literally, it's give you that positive outlook, and it helps every single day you imagine maintain this happiness that you're now feeling, which is the goal, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and I know we could probably like keep going on, and how things, you know, like have impacted me and, you know, changed my life, but we'll move on to some of yours now.
Okay. I think the one of the biggest ways I feel my life's different now, and one of the things I'm most glad about that I'm developing, is, I mean, people, if they listen to this whole series, could probably guess what I'm about to say, but it's definitely the change in my mood.
Not like, I feel like people don't actually understand how moody you were. Like, I know it's mentioned a lot, but that's because it needs mentioning a lot.
It needs that spotlight.
How moody you had your own grunting language.
You know, like they say, like when twins can make up their own language to speak to each other, or you know, these tribes in Africa or in remote islands will come up with like their own languages. Well, I guess everyone has their own language. Like English and Spanish, its own language. I definitely created my own language in grunt. We'll call it grunt because it was.
But the thing is, like, when you used to grunt, sometimes people could actually get what you were saying and understand what you meant. Like,
it's funny though, because obviously, like, say like my mum, and even probably now yourself, because they spent so much time around me, I think they actually became my translators, because like I used to go to say like my nana and granddad's, and my nana speaks to me and she's like, oh, do you want something to eat? She's like, what? And then my mum would be there, yeah, he wants a bacon butter, yeah. But it's like, and I'd be like, yeah, so why can she understand it and you can't? But on reflection, I really was, and I will admit all day long, I was a very moody person, and I still catch myself in having moments like that, and that's when now I sit there and be like, I try my best to be like, no, snap out of that, take your steps, read your notes, whatever it might be, and because there's no need for it. The people I have around me are amazing, and they deserve much better than I was definitely acting.
Yeah, and I feel it's going to be. I think it's natural. You still have those days. Like it's like me with overthinking. It's because it's something you felt like for years and years and years and years and years, and you've come out like the other side of counselling, and you're not moody now, but you still have those days. It's going to take time to actually gain more control over them, isn't it?
And I put a positive spin it now as well, is that when I do have these moments, or I try to anyway, when I do have these moments, I like to use it as a reminder of the journey I've been through, and also it keeps me on my toes, and I feel it helps stop getting me complacent because it reminds that, oh, there's still this to work on, or know. So trying to put that positive spin in it, I try to help it keep pushing me and to keep trying to build in it more.
Yeah. Do you think as well, like now, when you do have those moody days, do you think you are finding it easier and easier maybe each time that happen to get out of them? Like, are you, instead of having movie days,
Watch a film.
like moody days, are you maybe having like like a moody morning or a moody afternoon rather than a full
Oh, definitely. Like my moods they could last from a day to a week to a month to
365 days
every day. Whereas now, like I think, like you say, I'll have like a moody minute, moody 5 minutes, maybe an hour or something like that. But I also am aware of it in a sense now. Like when I used to be moody, I just felt like that's just who I am, and because I didn't really know another side of me. Whereas now I'm starting to feel and embrace that there is this positive, happy side. It's making me realize that isn't who I am, and that's not how I want to be. And like I say, my loved ones deserves better, but I also deserve better. And when I reflect on mood, I think it's quite funny that I realised like a lot of my problems were created by myself, and I actually ironically fed my own depression through my own actions. So for example, when I was moody, obviously I'd isolate from people, but then people would stop inviting me to things. Then I'd get upset and go get down on myself like no one likes me, blah blah blah. But that all, or a lot of time, stemmed from how I, my mood, like how I acted, and I think that's, as we mentioned in the previous episode about reflecting, I started to realize a lot about my life and how I became and who I was and why certain things happened, and accepting that, and it was my own fault and not blaming other people. And once I started being able to do that, it's like, okay, now I can move forward because it was me and that's something I can control. So let's look to change it.
Yeah, and I think that that's an amazing attitude to have, and like you say, it's just that learning and that self-developing that you're having. I think it's amazing.
Yeah, and I think for me at the minute, one of the big things I'm trying to develop, and I think is a very crucial element of ourselves, is my self-confidence and self-belief. Because I know when I was going through depression, I didn't believe in myself. I had no confidence in who I was. I didn't like who I was. Whereas now I'm learning to love myself and, as you say, to put myself first. And I feel when you can believe in yourself to a level, and when you have pride in yourself, not an ego, but pride in yourself, I don't think there's anyone in the world who can stop you. Because I think it may sound cliche, but the biggest challenge you can ever face in life is yourself. And I feel once you can learn to love yourself and love who you truly are, not who you might want to pretend to be, or who, for example, my depression led me to believe to be, who I truly know I can be and want to be. Like I said, there's just no one on anything that can stop you. You're going to face hurdles, but because you believe in yourself that damn much, you'll just jump them like some Olympic bloody athlete.
Yeah, again, that's amazing. Are you like, can you feel yourself, progressing in that way, like, gaining more confidence and, learning?
Oh, 100%. And I'm not sitting there saying I'm there yet, it'll be always something to develop, but it's definitely now, if I look at where I was 3 years ago to now, it's worlds apart. But and I'm very happy, but I want to keep progressing and developing this, because I think confidence, there's so many different areas and ways you can be confident in life. It's and ways I might be confident in ways you might not be, and vice versa. So you can never be like amazingly confident in everything, but I think confidence is a very powerful tool to have in your arsenal, and it's definitely something that I'm really focused on and trying to push myself to become better at. And I think we all struggle with it in our own ways, but it really is a beautiful thing to feel growing in yourself.
Definitely, it's about all about that self-confidence, self-development, isn't it?
No, it is, yeah.
Self-confidence. I think something for me that I've noticed about you as well, from when you were depressed to who you are now, is actually isolating, and the lack of counselling plans, and you know, like that is something that you don't do anymore, like at all.
No, when you say that, it's really weird to reflect on, because when I actually think about it, I can't remember the last time I cancelled a plan or even had the urge to. And it's not something I've actually thought about for a while until you mentioned it. But again, when I reflect on who I used to be and how I used to be, I never wanted to do anything. I had no ambition or drive or anything to have a social life, to do anything with my life in a sense. But now it doesn't even, like, say, cross my mind when you text me, or, you know, we're always making plans, and I don't know. I'm actually a bit lost for words because of how much it's caught me back. I don't isolate like I used to. I don't cancel plans, and it's just really nice to see and feeling myself how much I'm getting out there now, and not just going into my shell and dismissing people. And because I think I'm actually really lost for words. I don't know. It's
I was going to say that. I think by your kind of initial reaction now, it kind of shows the progress you've made from then to now, in a sense, where I can't remember the last time you were isolated or wanted to be like, I just want to stay in, or anything like that. And it's good that you don't have a clue either. That's really good. No, it's amazing.
It is a beautiful thing. But I think, like we say, there's just so many ways that counselling and our journey so far with depression really has changed our lives for the better. And again, depression doesn't always have to be a negative thing, and I think that is the point, is that we're learning to turn it now into the positives and take the lessons from it that it's helped teach us. And I'm not going to say like we did it easily, and we had great help in our counsellor, but I think that's the point we've sort of mentioned before, is finding what helps you the most and really suits who you are as a person, and whatever your issues and problems may be that you're going through.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I feel like we've spoke about this in terms of like what we felt like the effects of depression was on us, and I feel like now we can both sit here and say, like, we no longer feel like we're floating through life and kind of just don't really know where you're going. You have no drive or ambition in life. You don't even know what you're doing. I think floating is a really good word. You're just going down a river, not really thinking about where you are, what you're doing, or where you want to go. You just literally just go in. Whereas now I feel like, no, we're like taking control of our lives in a sense, and be like, no, I want to do this, I want to achieve this, I want to better myself at this, I want to become this person, I want to be happy, I want to so many things.
Yeah, and I think I have that feeling in myself, and I can feel it growing, and I know you have it similar. Is that literally like the sky's the limit? Like, we want to live our life now, whereas, like you said previously, it's like, I don't really care, I don't see what my future holds. Whereas now it's like, I'll try anything, I'll do anything, let's just go for it, because we see everything as a lesson and an opportunity to grow and learn more about ourselves. Like, imagine speaking to ourselves 5-10 years ago and saying, "Oh, you're going to start a podcast?" They'd be like, no chance.
Oh my God, imagine.
Or you're going to me, Callum, you're not going to cancel plans. Dan, you're going to be able to fall asleep without overthinking something someone said 2 months ago.
No, I know you wouldn't be able to accept it, would you? And I think that in a way that's what makes it so special to us as well. And doing this podcast as well is, it's a big thing for us, and it's something that we've wanted to do for the last couple of years.
Yeah,
really.
And I think with this whole journey, and especially counselling, I think counselling helped us kickstart our future, and I feel it helped us understand and teach us to own our past, and from that, it is now our responsibility to take these tools that we've learned to build our future, and again, like, learn from our past, because I know from some of the mistakes I've made, they'll always be with me, but I'm trying to, and I feel like I'm learning to, like I say, own them and not let them own me, and become at peace with that, and be like, okay, I made those mistakes, but I I want to learn from them and not be that person anymore, and better myself from it all.
Yeah, and that's truly inspiring. And I know, like the counsellor said to us, didn't she? Like in a sense, like she's helped us become at one with our past, and she has literally just kick-started our future in a sense. Like you go now, you've got the tools, you know what you need to do in a sense, you know how to to be okay within yourself. So you go now and live your life and learn from experiences. Everyone's going to face tests, challenges, situations. It's life. It's unpredictable, isn't it? But I think it's so like inspiring and amazing, that we can both do that, and we should be really proud of it as well.
No, yeah, and that self pride is something we both really take, and I think it's also taught me a lot that it's okay to first make mistakes, but it's also okay to have emotions. But
yes.
I feel like I now understand there's a difference between healthy emotions and negative emotions. So, for example, it's okay, like happiness, sadness, being upset, having fear, joy, whatever it might be. That's healthy. But I know how I was. That was not healthy emotions at all, and I feel like my sadness was. Well, it went down to depression. That there was a big difference now, and that I see the difference between being sad and being depressed, and knowing when these emotions are a healthy response and when they're not, and trying to take the appropriate steps to, if it doesn't feel very positive myself, what can I do to make that, and also accepting myself that it's okay to have down days and down moments, because it's just part of being human. Because I know for myself, when I was going through counselling, say I did like a down day or something, or a down moment, I felt like it's a step backwards, where it's like, well, no, I'm just having like a down day, whereas for 5 years I was having a down 5 years, and accepting that, we even now we still have our down moments and days, but again, it's okay to do that, and it's human, and to not panic when that moment happens. Just try and learn from it and find what can I do that's positive that will flip this now to make me grow more and be more happy from this.
Yeah, I think that's what just makes us human, though, doesn't it? Is that us having those down days, in a way, I'm glad I have those, because it teaches more about myself, or maybe what those down days are about, and taking those positives out of them. In a sense, I'd be worried if we didn't have down days, because we might be like a robot or something.
Exactly. That's not being human, then, is it? No.
Exactly. It's even when I feel sad sometimes, it's nice to know that you can feel that and just that, rather than for me spiraling out of control with my emotions. And it's just nice to be in control and human, literally.
Yeah. And I think it's nice as well to know that, of course, we are going to face tests and challenges in the future, but to not fear them.
Yes.
And feel, again, I think that confidence and that positive mindset that no matter what life throws our way, or us personally, collectively, whatever it may be, is to believe and say to yourself that I can get through this. And again, we are very lucky, but to have learned things that we know will help us get through that. So for me, for example, talking to you, reading these notes, and again, just believing like we can get through anything and it will be okay.
Yeah, and I think, for us, it's a really positive on us having each other, because we can, when we're going through a situation, we've got someone there, people can have their loved ones there to actually sit them down and be like, you are going to get through this. Let's talk about it. Let's figure out what we can do. And I think that is so lucky, that we have that. And yeah.
No, it is. And I think that's why I'm also, as we mentioned before, proud or grateful to have gone through depression, because I feel it's made us aware that we do have a mental health, and feel that it's now our responsibility to maintain that and to look after it and take care of it, firstly for ourselves, but also for those we come across in life, because how we act can impact people in so many different ways that maybe sometimes we won't even realise, but your interaction with people every single day has such an impact on it can literally shape people. It can literally make or break people's days.
No, it's true. It's like we were talking in the last episode, wasn't we, about the kind of the ripple effect on how we are as people, and how that can affect other people you're in contact with, speaking to, etc. It's so powerful.
No, it is, and I feel we have such an appreciation and towards mental health now. And I think something you say to me is that you see like your mental health is like, or your mind is has a diet just as like your physical body does. Your mind also has a diet.
No, yeah, completely. I know, we always have discussed about it, is that it makes me laugh when you hear about all these diets for your, like, physically, oh, you can get slim, you can get six pack and everything like that. I wish I had that, but I don't. But I feel like your mental health is more than important than that, and that also probably it needs a diet. Some things are good for you, some things are bad for you, and I feel like it needs to be. It should, in a sense, be looked at that way as well. Like, it's focus on your your mental health diet as well as your physical health diet.
Yeah, and I think just like a physical health diet, you need that balance. Like,
yeah,
as well as you needing all the good nutrients, or the healthy food, you also need like sugar and fat and junk food. Well, I feel like your mind, obviously, the majority of you want to be like positive food or positive, experiences, but the negative are also good because they help teach you so much and they help bring out that balance. And I think it's not always easy or clear to know if something is good or bad or positive or negative for yourself, but that is part of growing up, maturing, and it's part of life, is figuring out, okay, what is good for me, what isn't, and as you say, in trying to surround yourself as much as possible with that positive food for your mind.
Yeah, and I think from what you just said, and especially what I've learned over the past, from my journey with counselling to, going through depression, suffering with that for like 10 plus years, is that I think I've realised that you do only live once, and you are only on this, planet for literally for one lifetime, and you should take pride in who you are and what you believe in and what you want to become as well. And I feel if you just focus on yourself and believe in yourself, and it's so difficult, and I didn't do it for a long time of my life, whereas now I am starting to believe in myself and focus on myself and push myself and go out my comfort zone, learn new things, and literally live my life. And I think it's amazing, and I just think everyone deserves to live the best life and do the best they can in every situation they can, and I want happiness, for everyone. But yeah, that's what I have to say.
No, I think it's very beautiful, and it is very hard to summarize up this journey we've been on, and it really, this is, for the time being, the final part in our depression series. And like we said, I just don't know how we've been through such a journey to get to this point in our lives and ourselves with this podcast, and it truly is so emotional, but humbling, but beautiful to be here and to be able to create this podcast for you guys, and to see and receive the support we have and see the comments and the feedback that we're getting is incredible. And as we said, all we've ever wanted from this podcast, and the main drive and goal and the reason we started this, was just trying to help anyone in any way we could whatsoever. If something we said motivated someone, if it helped them reach out, whatever it may be, that would mean more than words could describe to us. And I just don't think there's enough words to say how grateful we are to be here, but to also spread the message that, and try and raise awareness to mental health, and that we all have a mental health, and it is okay not to be okay, but that also there is another side. So it's not always, you can beat depression. We all have the strength within ourselves to do it. And life, like Dan said, it's just so fucking beautiful, and life's meant to be lived freely, to do as you wish. I think Dan said it perfectly when you said we are literally here once. Do what you love. Don't worry about what people think. We know it's so much easier said than done, but we're all in this together. And we truly believe it's just about surrounding yourself with the right people, trying to find as many of those positives you can, digging down deep when it gets tough, and knowing that you are stronger than anything life can throw you, anything depression can throw you. Just when you get up every day, you are showing the world, you're showing life, you're showing so many people how inspirational you are, how strong you are, how you are stronger than the shit life can throw at you. And just believe in who you are. And as Dan said, you are unique and you are beautiful. And just enjoy yourself, have fun, but take care of yourself at the same time.
Yeah, true. And we're 100% going to keep pushing mental health awareness.
100%.
In every way we can. We're probably going to do more mental health, episodes in the future. And we're going to exploring different ventures in how we can promote mental health awareness, because it is so important to us and to to the people we love as well, and to you guys as well. So yeah, thank you very much for listening to this series. We love you so much. But yeah, thanks so much for listening to this series and this episode. If you could give this episode a like and a share, that'd mean so much. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notifications button to keep up to date with any of our future episodes. If you have any comments or thoughts at all, just drop them below or on any of our social medias.
Yeah, and as always, we're available on all social media platforms under the username @LT Podcast Online. We're also available on all podcast directories such as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, as well as YouTube. If you check out our description below, it's got all our links and further information in there. And as always, guys, and probably bigger than usual because it is a very, significant, humbling, beautiful moment for us to be wrapping up this depression series for the time being. Thank you very much for listening. We hope to catch you in the next episode. We have an array of topics that will be coming out, and we just can't wait to share them all. And yeah, just thank you so much, guys. Hope to catch you in the next one, and take it easy.
Yeah, take it easy, guys. Peace.